Booyaka.
Yeah, booyah.
Yeah, son. So
Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to Infinity Times Infinity Studios.
Yeah,
We're
what's
coming
up?
at you
What's
live.
up?
Everybody, today is going to be an awesome show. We are looking at some headphone monitors. Special case here. That's the Sennheiser HD-6XX. And there's a lot of reasons why these are special. Dan is actually going to tell us more about it because he's the one that bought them. So let's do it.
Yeah, it's not because Phil has no idea about any of this stuff at all. It's only just because I bought them.
For the most part, Dan is the DJ and he's like the audiophile. So he's got like 900 pairs of headphones over there.
Well, it is a studio, so monitoring requires headphones. So there's
Absolutely.
a reason for having the different headphones. But in addition to that, my critical monitoring also requires headphones. So, you know, when I'm mixing and mastering, one thing I've taken to recently is using the rack with headphones on so that I can hear exactly what's going on. Because before, when I was mixing or mastering and I'm over there at the rack, the speakers are going at the chair and I'm not in the chair. So this is a problem, my friend. Yeah, that's a bad one.
Yeah, so I mean, in my world, you know, monitors would either be seeing monitors, or I guess it would also almost be kind of like, I mean, like me having a 4K monitor or a 2K monitor or a 1080p monitor or whatever, you know, with different refresh rates. This is kind of Dan's realm here with being able to listen to audio, and this pair of headphones tends to be open back, so it's a little different than your normal pair of headphone monitors.
Yeah, I guess in that way it would be kind of analogous to getting a color spec'd professional editing monitor.
Right.
Those ones that they make that are guaranteed a certain level of resolution of colors or something, you know, like I think there's some kind of specific spec that they call it or something.
Well, yeah, and you can get the, you know, calibration software and whatnot and do all that good stuff, which is kind of what we're doing here with these monitors, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's funny that you say that about that, because the calibration software for visual for a monitor is something that exists and is analogous to what we're going to show them today, which is software that corrects for some of the conditions of that.
Right. So, I mean, it's crazy. Like, we always have these conversations about how video and audio intermix, and, you know, we define things through, I do it through visual and he does it through audio, and then, like, it always ends up coming together. Like,
did you turn the audio off from the cameras when we turned the camera links back on?
Turn the audios off? Yeah. Let me see. Yeah, they're all muted. All the other ones.
Huh.
Yeah.
I guess I wouldn't hear it in this anyway, because I'm listening to this.
Okay, I should probably listen to the audio now.
No, it's fine. It's good. There's no reason. It's fine.
Okay.
We're a little paranoid, y'all, because we actually we had some echoing going on last time. I don't know for those of you who saw the episode, but we were we were echoing. So yeah.
Yeah. So what happened last time was the Samsung phone was added after we did all the audio checks and whatnot, and I even did an audio check during the stream and didn't hear the echoing, which is mostly my fault.
Well, you know, it's really tough. That's why when people watch us, they're learning so much from us, Billy, because they can learn that it's possible to listen to something while you're monitoring and not catch an issue with it. It is possible.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
And we've done it more than once, actually. I've done it and you've done it. And then we go back later and we thought it was fine, and then it wasn't.
Yeah, and that's why live streaming is such a big feat.
Right? It's a little more than just regular filming because it's live. So,
yeah,
that means that everything's happening right now.
Everything's happening right now. Things are being printed right now. So it's like, that's also part of the fun of it too. So it's like, just being able to create on the fly, is actually where a lot of the fun comes in. And then, we've been wanting to do more, YouTube uploads where we actually edit things and whatnot, but it's almost like doing the live streams and then just having it out there without editing it. That's a really nice feature.
Well, yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, we mostly do it correct the first time, so there's no reason to have to edit anything and then upload, So part of the reason of doing this way is so that we don't have extra work later. Really, we have a little bit. Sometimes we write a little description or something, but it's a lot less than it would be if it was an edited video, essentially.
Oh yeah, for sure. So let's talk about what we're talking about today. The headphones.
Yeah, so like we were saying about monitoring, okay, these headphones are for monitoring. So just like you use monitor speakers while you're mixing and mastering, you can also use headphones. In fact, some mixing and mastering engineers only use headphones to mix and master these days. I know a guy.
That's wild, yeah.
I won't expose him because I'll let you have your secret, buddy. But, given certain headphones, if you can familiarize yourself with the sound signature, it might be the best idea to mix with headphones because it's the most controlled your environment can be.
Yeah.
It's never going to change what you clamp on your head.
Right.
The inside of that's always the same.
Yeah.
So, it's less to deal with than a room. A room presents a lot of different stuff that is extra, and you have to deal with it in order to be able to hear stuff correctly. So,
yeah. Which we have quite a few streams about how to use room correction and
yeah, we have a room correction software stream. So we've already done some of this correction software stuff and these things, but today it's a little different because we're talking about software for the headphones, as well as using the headphones themselves for mixing and mastering while standing in front of the rack. And like you said, the main differentiator for these things is that they're open-backed. So while headphones like this have a hard shell around the edge of them, the Sennheisers in there are no hard shell behind it. So
yeah,
where your ear goes, there's a hole on the outside.
Right. And so one of the things we talked about is like there's no possible way you guys can hear what we're hearing compared to
yeah, unfortunately the demo today isn't really going to be much of a demo because the audio that comes out of the headphones is not possible to put back into the stream without a $10,000 specialized microphone that simulates human head hearing with ears.
Right.
You could put that on there and do it that way theoretically, but we don't have that, and we ain't about to do some shit like that.
Right.
So what we are going to do is just to show you, and I'll tell you a little bit about, the concept of the Sennheiser thing and my history with it, because that's ultimately what led me to go with the HD-6XX, which, by the way, we might as well say right now is the Sennheiser HD-650 that's being genericized, branded so that it can be sold for less money than it is under the Sennheiser brand by a company called Drop that used to be Mass Drop. So some of you viewers may understand the term Mass Drop when I say that, but it's a company that has been doing this sort of thing for a long time, starting with some early Sennheiser headphones, and I think this HD-6XX has been around for at least a couple of years. It's been around for as long as it was called before it was called Drop, and it was just Mass Drop.
Yeah.
But really, that's what they are. They're just rebranded so that they can be, because HD-650s, I'm not sure if y'all are aware, are I think $300 or $400. And Sennheiser's brand strength relies on the stability of the pricing of their goods to some degree, like all, especially higher end brands.
Right.
So, in order to still be able to utilize all the machinery that they were that they created when they made this HD-650 line, they stay manufacturing it a lot more and let this drop company be involved and release them in a little bit different form than the one straight from the company.
Right. Okay. So that's that's great. I mean, like most companies tend to do something like this where you know, you can get the Sennheiser, the top of the line, like, and it's usually at that base price, like what you're saying. It's like a solid price that it stays at. And then there's another company that will drop something very similar, and usually quality-wise very similar in every aspect.
Yeah, once someone's paved the way for you, it's easy for you to jump on later on and show the world you can do it too.
Right.
At which point you'll get a share of the market.
Yeah, one of the companies that I would think about in video would be Manfrotto. You know, Manfrotto has its line of tripods and things like that, and there's probably like you know there's Young 10 that is like a sister company to Manfrotto, and then there's Bogan, and they're solid companies. You know, they're really like basically the same thing, just made in a different place or whatever.
For a little less money.
For a little less money.
And it's the same model as the Manfrotto one, but it says Bogan on it instead, so it's like $50 less or maybe even a little more or something, you know?
Right.
In the case of these headphones, it's like over $100 of difference.
Oh, yeah. That's,
you know?
that's
these,
about right.
I think the normal price on drop is like $199.
Oh, wow. Okay.
For the 6XX, where, like I said, it's like $300 or $350 or $400 for the 650.
Right.
With the full branding on it and whatnot. So,
yeah.
Yeah, they sold them to me even for a little less. I think I got them on sale for $179 or something.
Yeah.
But they hadn't really discounted things too much until they changed to drop from mass drop.
Oh.
Because mass drop really was, the point was you're getting it way cheaper in the first place, you know, so why would it ever drop farther from the $199? But
right.
You know, eventually these marketing teams take over every company and try to revamp shit. It's happened here in Austin, Texas with Trudy's Mexican food restaurant. They turned it into some dumb shit because of the whole new marketing team involved when the new ownership changed. So
well,
it happens in every company.
Oh, for sure. I mean, like price is always subject to change.
Yeah, all those disclaimers and disclosures.
Right.
But in the case of Sennheiser, this is a company that in pro audio we will know because there's a lot of Sennheiser microphones and headphones, and what else does Sennheiser make? There's like a wireless microphone system, you know, they basically make all the...
Oh, yeah.
They make a kick drum mic, you know, specific drum mics and stuff like that. Right. All different kinds of...
They make really good lavalier microphones. Like.
Yeah, the lab stuff they have is pretty much the best stuff. That's why it's like $60-$70 instead of the normal 20 or 30. Mm-hmm. And people buy them.
I think they have shotgun mics too for video, maybe.
Yeah, there's a Sennheiser, there's a voice-over mic, the Sennheiser shotgun mic, the MKE 416, that is really kind of being used outside what it was designed for to some degree because they're using it for voiceover in a vocal booth.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're not even attaching it to a camera. It's straight to their mouth.
Yeah. Huh.
But the Sennheiser MK416 sounds so good that you got to do it, you know. It's they yeah, not only can you use it, you probably should, unless your voice is a certain type of voice.
Yeah. Like
a guy, a couple different guys. Podcastage is one of them, and Booth Junkies is the other guy that I'm thinking of from YouTube. What's up? Shout out to Podcastage and on YouTube and Booth Junkies also on YouTube. Y'all go check those guys out.
Check them out. They
talk about microphones a lot, and Booth Junkie, as you could probably tell from the name, is often talking about the vocal booth and everything surrounding voiceover work. But Podcastage does a bunch of different reviews of mics and stuff. He's really cool because his review and his process has become very streamlined up until this point. So now every mic he makes a video on, he does the same stuff with it. He turns it all the way around, and so you can hear the off axis and the back of the capsule response and stuff. And then he does it for certain things. I think he plays a guitar through it if it's a large diaphragm condenser, and then does his vocal, like singing versus talking and that sort of stuff. So
nice.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. But I can't recall a Sennheiser product that he's ever reviewed. However, I'm sure Booth Junkie has done a video on the shotgun, the voiceover shotgun, the MK416.
Mm-hmm.
Because that thing is legendary. I mean, people just know that microphone.
Yeah,
especially in like professional voiceover people. That's like one of their staples for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Similar to some of the others, like a Neumann TLM 103, a Neumann U87. What else? AKG 414. Let me see. My CAD E100S is another sleeper legend from those guys. It's a supercardioid pattern, but it's similar in terms of its phantom powered condenser design, and just sounds great. So yeah, I guess the point of those things is that you don't have to have a large diaphragm condenser capsule that's in a cardioid in order to get good voice. You can use a shotgun, you can use a supercardioid. Yeah. People even use dynamics, an SM7B. Often I've seen almost every podcast is on SM7Bs.
Yeah.
So
for sure.
But the SM7, the predecessor to that, is of course famous for being Michael Jackson's vocal mic in Thriller. So, they're able to capture really good vocals with all kinds of different microphones.
Oh, yeah.
But Sennheiser is one of those companies, and Sennheiser also makes headphones. I mean, I think my entry to knowledge into Sennheiser was probably through headphones. Yeah. They even make like low cost ones, earbuds and stuff. And like one of those kind that you used to get with a Walkman in the 80s that are just like
over
puffs
the ear
with a headband.
Yeah,
Sennheiser makes some of those.
Yeah.
And those are pretty good. Basically anything Sennheiser makes is good.
It's going to be good.
So I lately also got the Sennheiser HD-280, the closed back Sennheiser studio monitoring headphones.
Mm-hmm.
Just the entry level. They're not even anything special, but I really like them. They just sound really good.
Yeah.
It's amazing what Sennheiser can make for not a whole lot of money.
Oh, yeah.
But
sure.
In terms of those specific headphones we're talking about today, I actually had a different closed back pair of headphones, and then I used these Sennheiser open backs, the HD-580 headphones, to contrast between those and the closed backs. That was before using any of this software stuff to make them flat or anything like that.
Yeah.
So it's just because when you're monitoring, you kind of want an A and a B thing that sound different so that you can compare whatever things they might show you about it.
Yeah.
Every speaker and every headphone will give you certain things that are special and unique to their frequency response and reveal certain things about your mix to you.
Right.
As a result of that.
So is that where you started with open back headphones, or did you have some before that even?
No, these 580s came from when I was in college.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I bought these when I was a poor college student, and I bought them used off of headfi.com. So shouts out to my headfi people. That's a headphone themed forum online that has been around since forums were just plain text.
Since that was the internet.
Nothing else. Yeah, plain text forums was really the internet,
Right.
And I asked those guys, I think I asked them, what can I buy that's not $1,000 that'll sound awesome,
Right.
And it was like, well, Sennheiser open back headphones.
Yeah.
Specifically. So
wow.
At that time it was the HD 580s, 600s, and 650s.
Okay. Yeah.
And I think all three of those are still sold today as well.
Still kicking it.
Yeah. So that was, at least 7 or 8 years ago when I was in college, I'm a little older than a college kid now.
Right. It's funny. It's funny how like I still see certain headphones like used in a professional way in video. You like the Sony
Yeah,
MDR.
those Sony MDR 7506s. Those things are definitely ubiquitous at this point. They're all over everything.
They're all over everything. Yeah.
Those things have a fatal flaw in that they have a wire sticking off the side of them. I'll show you their
Right.
cousins here. These are the MDR V6s that are basically like the MDR 7506s. And they have this wire that's coming off of it. Let me get my face out of it so I can't see me. This
There we
wire
go.
right here.
Yeah.
The wire that's sticking off right here, that thing gets clamped.
Gets clamped.
It gets clamped because the ear, the wire goes right along here.
Yeah.
Let me get my face out of the shot completely. The wire goes
There
along
you go.
right here.
You're good.
So whenever there's any slack in the wire, it goes through there and the cup pinches it.
It just pinches
So that's
it.
potentially going to keep the thing from working.
Yep.
It'll, if it cuts the wire, then there's no signal to that cup until the wire's fixed.
Right.
So I like the ones that have no wire, like these Audio-Technica ATH M50s. And these, in fact, are the same model that I'm using in the control room as the closed back that I was just talking about.
Mm-hmm.
The alternative to the open back Sennheiser HD-580s at that time.
Right.
But ever since I got the 580s when I was in college, I knew that the 650s were the flagship of the Sennheiser open-backed headphones line
Yeah.
at the time.
Right.
Now they have higher ones. They have HD-800s that are like $1,500.
Yeah.
But those didn't exist, and HD-650s were basically like the top of the top for Sennheiser. So ever since I got the 580s, I always wondered what a little bit more resolution would be like.
Right.
Because while the 580s sound really good, they're a little bit bass weak. And bass is different through open back as well. So you also have to just be able to understand that and differentiate fake bass that's because of a sealed enclosure around your ear,
Right.
versus bass that's more representative of what you might really hear in the world
Right.
when it's an open back situation. Because the sealed enclosure around your head is an artificialized space, right? So the concept of the open back is just taking away that problem that is imposed
Encapsulated
from
ear.
Yeah, you don't want your ear to be encapsulated by lead like Han Solo.
That's right. Well, I mean, so when you're thinking about, getting a pair of headphones, like if you had the choice, I guess you'd want to choose to have both, but like if you had the choice of closed or open, which one would you choose?
Oh man, just go ahead and throw me down the stairs now. There's no way. Honestly, like before I knew anything about the open back stuff, I probably wouldn't have even hesitated. I would just say closed back because you can hear very, very well with. That's the nice thing about the sealed headphones, right? You're in a space that's you're sealed into.
Yeah.
So, just that inherently just eliminates everything outside that space.
Yeah.
Right? So, that's for a poor little boy that I was, that was the way to go, certainly.
Right.
But then at that time, actually, before I bought the Sennheisers, I learned about a clip-on COS that was open-backed.
Oh.
Because it's really just the same as the headband with the puffs
Yeah.
from the 80s with the Walkman.
Right.
But the COS version of it, you clipped it onto your ear. And so then you had the clipped-on puffs on your ears.
Yeah. Which you
But
could
those were
hear
open.
outside in the room,
Yeah.
which is
Those,
great.
yeah, those are good because then you don't get run over if you're on a jog or on a bike.
Yeah.
And a car that's quiet comes around.
You're not sealing off your hearing
Yeah.
in a space.
But also, they're open to the outside air. So
right.
it's a couple of things about that. People outside of those headphones can hear it.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not good for public transport or something like that where people can hear your stuff,
Right.
So really, because the closed ones are more adaptable to every situation in life, you'd have to go with the closed ones if you had to choose.
Right.
Just for the potential for them to be useful in more scenarios, I guess.
Yeah.
You know? But I think my life right now, I think I would probably prefer open-backed headphones on.
Yeah.
What, you didn't want the quad anymore? I'm seeing a lot of jerkiness on my video playback, but I don't think that's part of the stream. Do you think it might be part of the stream?
Well, let's see. There's something over here like that's it. For some reason, it looks like there's a flickering going on in the E10.
Really?
Like, yeah, there's some type of weird thing going on in the background. Are you on? Could it be your frame rate or
1/60th?
But if it's if it's 1/60, that should be the right shutter speed. Was the
you know what it is? It's the middle, the light in the center. I think it's the center light.
The light in the center?
Yeah, because I have that on higher than it's supposed to be. It's never on that high in the stream. Let's see if my turning that off will help it.
Okay.
I believe I can do that with this phone. I'm not exactly sure. My other phone's being used to film.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
See, this is what's fun about live. If I've been flickering this whole time, I apologize to all of you YouTubelets and Twitches. What's up to all my YouTubelets? What's up to my Twitches? I haven't said that yet. Welcome to another Infinity Times Infinity Studios stream, where we ramble incessantly about gear. Sometimes Sennheiser gear.
You yourself are not flickering. I think it might be because of the light, like what you're saying. It's like,
okay, so if my face isn't, then it's got to be back there, right?
Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking anyway. Now, appears Google has attempted to install an update on this phone, so this phone won't be controlling the light anytime soon.
Auto updating. Okay, well,
see,
maybe we should just go talk about.
Oh, here we go.
The head. Okay, you got it. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay, let's see.
It's no problem over here.
We got most of these lights are controlled by this phone here.
All of these lights over here.
All of these
What's
lights
going?
over
Oh
here.
no, I have to log in. I don't know what my account is.
Okay, so I guess while he's doing that, a couple new things have come out that are interesting, like the Tesla phone, of course. Like, who knows what kind of crazy things that can do. And then, of course, the Canon R5C is out, which is an insane camera. Of course, me and Dan have been talking about it, and I mean, it seems like it's great so far, but I mean, like Dan pointed out, that it doesn't have IBIS in body stabilization.
I'm in, and the center light has only 24%.
Oh,
it's usually on 7.
Did you change it? You did change
it. I just now did.
Oh, okay. It's looking better, I think. It looks way better. What do you guys think? Yeah. It was probably just that being as bright as it was flickering, you know.
Could be that.
It's possible. I mean,
when it's in between settings, sometimes it'll flicker. That's what happens with these LED lights.
Right.
I believe that's what he's referring to, not something with the frame rate on the phone. However, rather not the phone, the camera.
Yeah.
1/60th of a second as a shutter speed is probably coinciding with the rate that the light is flickering. I think LED lights flicker just like the other lights do. So,
right.
If that's the case, we may have to adjust one or the other in future streams. But
right,
it appears it may have been alleviated for the most part.
Right, I think so.
I'm in frame, totally in big frame.
Yeah, just trying to see if
like
it's flickering.
My stream is just like pausing constantly. It just looks like shit. If I can do something about it, I would love to. This thing is just so laggy right now. Holy shit.
This is our tablet monitor here that has been slowly just dying on us.
I mean, it's just planned obsolescence, like rearing its ugly head with this thing. You know, it's plenty capable, but
Right.
they just stopped updating the YouTube app that it's compatible with.
Yeah.
And now I'll have to run the YouTube page over the YouTube web page, just on a web browser. So
Right.
it's not the same
YouTube
interface, even like this right here.
Yeah.
It's not showing me the 3 dots like that. So I don't think I can even. Oh, there it is. The settings.
Settings cog.
Yeah, there's a cog. I touched it and nothing's happening though. This thing's just like stuttering hard.
Yeah.
It's bad news bears.
Right. Well,
there it is.
When we
Quality.
first started using it, it was perfectly fine, but you know, like once technology gets older, they stop creating updates for it.
720. See if it'll just completely melt down trying to do 720. It's just going so slow. Something's definitely like hanging in the background or something.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to be able to use that for monitoring anymore, and I don't have the other one up there.
Right.
So looks, at least I changed the camera in there to my face cam, and they all match fairly well.
Yeah.
My phone actually looks a lot like the E10
It does for sure.
ZV Ray Vaughn.
It's looking pretty matched up right there.
ZV Wonder's taking the night off.
Yeah.
Back in the vocal booth. So only one of the 2 ZVs going today.
Okay.
Well, I guess we'll abandon the monitoring for now, and I'll go show you all these headphones.
Yeah. Let's do it.
I got the microphone on in there, so
Okay.
you'll be able to hear me.
Cool. While he's doing that, I'll talk to you guys, and you know, so here he is. He's getting all set up, ready to go. Let me put him in the program. There we are.
Yeah, so these right there are, yeah, we're not going to be able to see script on it. Probably not.
Seeing it pretty good. Let's see. What are we? There we go. Wait.
6XX.
Nice. I can see the HD-6XX.
So they look very, very similar actually to the old Sennheiser HD-580s.
It's not quite triple X. It's 2X.
Yeah, just 2. Don't worry. Soft core.
Soft core, huh?
But that right there is my HD-580s. So the cool thing about these is they have the grills from HD-600s. So HD-580 grills were silly looking. They had like a plastic thing sideways across vertically. I mean horizontally. I think it was horizontally, maybe it was vertically. But the guy that had these replaced them with these mesh grill ones. Let's see. Those look basically just like the other ones. So these HD-580s they're called HD-580 Precision specifically. Not just 580. So those we made kind of custom there. So as you can see, oh, you know what? They can't hear me. this up.
Oh, snap. I'm monitoring. Okay.
Okay, now they can hear me. So you didn't tell me the whole time they couldn't hear me. I thought you were supposed to be listening through your headphones, Billy.
I just put them on just a second ago.
Oh, all right. Well, what I was doing in the camera there, well, you probably could only hear the echo of me as I was showing you what the headphones look like, because the HD-580s I have and the HD-6XXs look quite similar. And the reason for that is because the guy upgraded the HD-580s by putting the mesh grills on the sides of them where they had the plastic ones before. And he also painted it. Basically everything, I think, was kind of a marbly gray sort of a thing on those HD-580s. They were pretty funny looking. So he fixed the look of the 580s, and those are actually known for being really flat response-wise. So they really didn't need any extra stuff in terms of like a software program to make them sound more flat or neutral necessarily, but actually they did have a bit of a roll-off in the bass that the software can account for. So let me show you the software that we're running through these things. So there's the channel that I had to turn up so y'all could hear me. And there's the ATEM control. Oh, I showed you the intro. So up here is this program SoundSource. And SoundSource is a program that takes over the system audio in a Mac and allows for plugins to be run in real time. Uh-oh, both of these plugins are on too, and they've affected the sound, so probably isn't sounding great. Because this is for the speakers, and that's on. So we'll turn that off. And then also this, which is for the headphones. So basically we've got Sennheiser HD-6XX running through the SSL6 mixer using SoundSource into SoundID reference. So that's a lot of S's and a lot of silly sounding stuff. But SoundID reference creates a curve that basically combats the lack of flatness of your headphones response. So let's see. So here you have calibration profiles for each of the types of headphones we're using in this control room. So you have the closed back ones that I talked about earlier that I'm wearing right now, the M50X's, ATH M50X's, Audio Technicas, and then two more profiles, one for the 6XX and one for the 280. So with each of these profiles, they have a little different curve in them because they're for different headphones. So as you can see, that's the Sennheiser 280 curve. That's much different than the curves for the other ones like this. That's for the 6XX. All it's really doing is boosting the low end a little bit. The green line is the correction, as you could probably see there. So the correction basically is just swinging for what the headphone's response is. So that this purple line here, once you turn the calibration off, is the headphone's response curve. So without this enable thing here in the way, you could tell that this curve is really flat all the way across, basically. And the HD-580 is actually even flatter, so they're exceptionally flat headphones to begin with, and that's why they are considered the best for listening, for monitoring purposes. But specifically these HD-6XXs with this SoundID reference plugin going through SoundSource like this. So you can you're adding effects here in this output section of SoundSource specifically, if y'all want to see that. So like for example, the ARC here, I would be adding by choosing ARC out of the IK Multimedia list right here. Then you choose it and it adds it on. So Again, we won't be using that today because that's for the speakers, but this reference here, you know, that's how it changes the sound. So now we'll put it back on the 280 since that's what we're using. And I also want to mention that it has a dry wet here. So I find this particularly useful because rather than just all or nothing, like a lot of software programs that do this sort of thing, you can have a blend of how much it actually changes the sound. So as you move this, the curve is either reduced or increased. As you can see, that green line changes as I move this. So right there, that's how it would have to correct if it was doing all 100% of the correction. But I like it at about 70-ish to 74%, which looks about like that. So actually it's not completely flat. What it's doing is still leaving some difference from exactly flat, but that allows me to still retain the sound signature of the headphones to some degree while also increasing their accuracy. All right, so y'all go check them out. SoundID, it was formerly called something else, so Sonarworks, I think, called it Sonarworks Reference before, and it's still called the SoundID Reference plugin. So the company is Sonarworks, and their stuff is now called SoundID rather than Reference, but it's the same deal. It's just doing flattening for headphones, and it does it for monitors as well. So I could also be using the SoundID Reference if I had the full one for the monitors, but I prefer the ARC system after having tried the other, so that's why we're running it this way. All right, so boom.
There we go.
As they say. And I'm going to drop this mic back down here.
And we're back.
And I'm going to come back over there.
Okay, sounds good.
So yeah, that wasn't coming through for the first couple of minutes. So again, our stream was for people like you who need a free gift of a learning experience having been given. You're welcome, Internet. Thank you, and you're welcome.
Right.
For the demonstration as well as, oh, the side-by-side. Billy, you got it really going today. I like that.
Yeah, I had it going on.
That's beautiful. I love that.
Yeah, it was fun.
As soon as I went to my face cam, you did the side-by-side?
Yeah.
Oh, man. See, we're doing good stuff, and we're doing it a little bit, like, not quite as perfect as we had imagined sometimes, but other times we're doing stuff that's, like, just spur-of-the-moment creativity right for you. Right there.
Yeah, right there.
Right there, like Billy gave you right there. Huh?
Yeah, I mean...
How do you like them apples?
So, how much does that plugin cost?
Well, it's usually $100, and I got it for 60. Surprise, surprise. Yeah. There's like 3 days a year that they do sales at Sonarworks.
Right.
Those being Black Friday, Christmas, and Valentine's Day or something.
Yeah, like one more day.
One day in spring.
Somewhere random.
It's someday in spring.
Yeah.
It's like Easter or Valentine's Day or something like that.
Right.
But it's only 30% off sale. So really, if you try it, they have like a trial. I think it's like a 15-day free trial or something. So I encourage you all to try it out. They got profiles for just about every headphone you can imagine. And if they don't have yours, you can tell them to add it. And they'll probably go at it. They're pretty obsessed with getting their list as comprehensive as possible so that everybody who needs this sort of stuff can use it. Because the difference that it makes, being able to hear what you're doing flat versus having an imposed frequency response curve on your material is really night and day. I mean, it's the difference between being able to mix knowing what you're doing and being able to mix in the dark. You know, in terms of using a specific headphones for your reference, I mean, there's the concept of getting used to the way things sound and the way things work. Like, someone who's used the same monitor speakers for the last 20 years in their studio, Well, number one, they're probably either Neumann's or Yamaha NS10s. And number two, they've learned the sound of those speakers so well that they know how it's going to translate to other stuff and out into the real world. So that's the difference between using this stuff in a way that you understand how it's going to be different out there versus making your stuff sound exactly how you need it to so that you know how it's going to be out there. What do you got going on?
Let's see. So the Restream is saying to something about checking encoder settings, which is weird. Restream just redid their interface.
Interesting. So we're relearning how to route both Twitch and YouTube simultaneously through Restream because they've changed their interface. So if there was a lull there, it's because I was trying to see what Master Phil's doing over there as he is not present in his seat. Oh, yeah. But you can see his... Can you see his head? No, maybe not. Yeah, you could probably see like parts of Master Phil as he's attempting to alleviate our situation here of confusion in terms of not knowing what Restream is doing. It may be that we have some stuttering going on. I sure hope that's not the case.
It might be because of what it's saying here, the encoder settings. I don't know.
What if we've been streaming like with a stutter for the entire time?
It's possible because they just changed their whole. They must have just updated recently. So. Okay,
so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go in there and look at the stream.
Okay.
Not on this tablet because this thing is absolutely screwing my idea of what's happening up completely. So it'll look smooth in there if it's right. Whereas on this thing, it just can't be trusted. Yeah, that'll be interesting if Restream has detected some encoder difference there.
Huh. Saying check your encoder settings, keyframe interval 0.967, recommended 2. Saying check your encoder settings. And then it's saying the bit rate is too high. 967, recommended interval.
Yeah, we're fine.
And then it's saying the bit rate is too high. We're fine?
Yeah, it's smooth.
It's interesting.
I believe
it looks good. Trying to figure out this.
Yeah.
So, okay.
What I was concerned about in terms of it stuttering is just because of that tablet. But, you know, we always have... Here's the deal, y'all. We're always looking to optimize the way that the stream is working in terms of the bit rate that is being fed to Restream and the bit rates that Restream feeds to both YouTube and Twitch, because each platform has their own unique preferences in terms of how the data is to be disseminated to them and from them. And Restream is no different because it's kind of a hosting platform. It's still got the same requirements as far as stuff going through it and how it works with it.
Right.
So there you go, right there.
There you go, right there. We may have to change something about how we stream to Restream, because we could stream through other platforms. It's showing OBS and vMix and all these other things, or you can stream with Studio straight to your channels. So we may have to adjust some things in the future. But
interesting.
Yeah. Because I've never seen this the keyframe interval warning pop up, but it's one thing that we can figure out.
Okay.
For next time.
So I think I said pretty much what I wanted to say about Sennheiser stuff and about those headphones. You know, the 580s were really cool. Honestly, now that I have both the 580s and the 6XXs, slash we'll just call them the 650s. Let's be real. I don't notice a whole lot of difference. I'm not sure that there's really a double price type of gain in terms of the sound that's happening there. I don't know that the 5.8s are sold anymore, but Drop does also have the 5.8X Jubilee or something like that. And I'm not sure that I'm not sure that that's meant to emulate the 580 Precision or not, but I would guess that it probably is.
Yeah. Maybe you guys can find out.
Yeah.
Leave it in the comments.
Drive to their website for us and drop it in the comments. Let us know what's up with that.
Yeah. But, you know, the headphones that we be looking at today are pretty awesome, it seems like, and the software, the plugins that you're using to be able to correct it, to flatten it out, looked like it was doing its job great. So I think that we have successfully done everything we can for this stream. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm feeling like a marginal success. I'll probably be rudely awakened after the stream in terms of having seen what happened, but
we'll find out.
For now, we're going to call ourselves not doing things some other way other than what we wanted to do.
Right.
So that's good.
Yeah. So thanks for watching Infinity Times Infinity Studios. Go to the .com. Check out all of our projects that we've done in the past. Of course, if you're on Twitch, go to our YouTube. If you're YouTube, go to Twitch. Check out the different channels and like them, subscribe.
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff still in the future. We still haven't shown you the Master Bus Processor or the SSL Fusion. Oh, we've shown a little bit of that stuff.
Yeah,
right?
Just a little bit.
But we're going to do a master on the stream, I think, as one of these upcoming streams.
Sweet.
Probably going through both the Neve and the SSL. And there's several other pieces over there as well. There's the radial DI box. It's called the XTC Stereo.
Yeah.
I've played around with that some, and we have had a stereo time-based effects, the Hall of Fame reverb pedal go through there, and it's cool. So we can put stuff on vocals. We just got some wireless transmitting for guitar that we kind of had some mixed feelings about, some reservations initially, and I think we're going to be able to use them for something anyway. It's just not quite what we wanted.
Right.
And some other gear stuff, some other knowledge we have to send your way, and some more artists playing music on our channel for you to check out in the future.
Yeah, for sure. And so a lot of exciting things going on.
Yes.
Definitely a lot of things in the video world that are interesting. Like I was saying, you know, Canon coming out with the R5C and Sony. You're telling me about the Sony stabilizing software that's
Catalyst Browse. That's been around for a while. The ZV-1 even has it.
Really?
Yep.
So we should definitely do a stream on that. I mean, if we're...
It's in post. Catalyst Browse only happens in post, so we would just be showing them like on my screen like today.
Yeah.
Of course we can do that. We should be doing that. And we should also be doing streams about the Universal Audio plugins as I'm acquiring them. And some of the other stuff I got, the IK Multimedia Centronic 2. I just got that. It's pretty awesome. It's a bunch of cool synths, so I'll show them that probably.
Right.
So look forward to a future of music and laughs and happy times.
Music and videos and laughs and happy times. All right.
A heart full of wonder. You're welcome, Internet.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for watching Infinity Times Infinity Studios.